See.
Whatever. I don't give a shit. Oh my god. Oh wait. We're live. They can hear us.
Just to inform you, everything's absolutely perfect.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Hey everybody, welcome to the Late Horror Show. What is going on? Oh my god.
Who are we talking to?
It's been a while since we did anything live
It's
here.
been 2 months since I've been here in the studio.
2 months, but welcome to Late Horror Show. I am here with Ted.
What's
we
all
are
that crap
live
over there?
What Ted, we're doing a show.
Oh, sorry.
We're happy to be here. We're going to talk Dario Argento's Deep Red 1975.
Profondo Rosso.
Oh my god, am I becoming a fan of his?
Don't become too big of a fan because most of his stuff is shit.
Oh my lord. Everything I've seen so far has been fantastic.
That's because I'm telling you the good ones.
No, don't say that. But hey, welcome everybody. Appreciate you guys being here, part of the show. Glad to have Ted back here.
That's right. His
live
wife finally
and in
let me
person.
come back over. I've been vaccinated.
Yeah. Had a little hiccup there at the beginning, but oh well. Ship happens.
That's right.
But we're gonna talk about this movie. We're gonna have some fun, like we always do, and like the thing. What?
That big eye.
Yeah, I love that thing, man. I love it.
Feel like
Ed Stewart is in the chat.
watching me.
This should be a treat for me. Hey, Dino and Ted, never seen this one.
What?
Oh, Ed. Dario Argento.
Sprick your ass over to Amazon or Tubi or something. I'm sure it's somewhere.
Giallo.
You can probably find it on YouTube for
it's
free.
It's fantastic, this movie. Let me give a quick... not that there's a whole mess of people here right now, but
what are we going to do?
Let me give a shout out to all the new patrons. Thank you, everybody. R-Rated Show, Amy Callahan and Mark Flavin for being the
Benny Hill?
Benny Hill is here too.
The Benny Hill?
Benny Hill from and Dave Plouffe, what is going on?
I'm just so excited we have Benny Hill.
Dave Plouffe.
What's up?
Yeah. Also like to thank Fury Phoenix, Dax Galden, Dalton Smothers, and Connie Cleary for hitting the join button and joined our channel. So got a channel membership. There's 4 people there so far. Kind of cool. That's pretty awesome. But yeah, got
Anybody
Ted
tuning
here.
into us flapping our yaps is awesome.
I'll listen to the experts on this one. It is what it is. But yeah, Dario Argento. This movie, Deep Red.
I don't think you ever saw a Dario Argento movie before me.
No. I'm fresh to the genre of the
Suspiria.
Italian horror genre. Suspiria we did a while ago.
Ages ago.
Yeah, and that is just fantastic.
I mean, that's his best right there. I mean, well, some people would say this or Bird with the Crystal Plumage.
Well, I still Suspiria's still #1 in my book, but this one is like almost even, man. Deep Red is become, I think, one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
Now, are you seeing the pattern that I kind of described to you? How, and actually, you've seen the 3 key movies. There's still Cat o' Nine Tails. But
what's up, Scott Rogers in the YouTube
oh, here's
chat?
everybody.
What's going on?
People coming in now. So Suspiria, Deep Red, Bird with the Crystal Plumage that you did with Kelsey.
Yes.
You notice there's in all of them there's a character who's got a piece of information in the back of their head that they have to try to remember.
Right.
And it's a similar thing in Cat o' Nine Tails, except it's a character who's blind and heard something.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different in that way. But that's sort of like his little shtick. In that grouping of films.
Let me tell you, Dario Argento has got to be one of the greatest directors of horror of all time in my eyes.
He had a good run. There's still a couple of good movies of his that you haven't seen, maybe. I would recommend Inferno and Opera.
Right.
I don't know what else. Tenebra.
Yeah.
After that, I don't bother with.
Hey, if
I've seen most. I mean, I even watched his Dracula.
If there's a good
it was terrible.
if there's a good 5 or 6 great movies by Dario Argento,
Yes.
I'll be happy.
Easily.
I'll be happy because this movie, everything about it just hit me, man. This guy's style, he knows how to put a movie together, a story together.
He's kind of like Francis Ford Coppola. Started off really kick-ass and then just shit.
Yeah. Well, I'll make that determination for myself.
Trust
but
me. Everyone listen to me.
I'm sure that the later stuff ended up dropping in quality.
Even some
or
of the
whatever.
middle stuff.
I don't know, his demons and stuff like that. You like those? Or?
Demons isn't Dario Argento. It's a
Well, he
different director,
directed-
but he's
okay.
like a producer.
Okay,
Kind of like
got
just
you,
like
got
how he made a
Amy Callahan, what is up in the YouTube chat?
sort of like he
Hello,
even made his own cut of
welcome.
Dawn of the Dead. You know,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah, we are gushing on. Well, I am so far Deep Red.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, the score and the soundtrack by Goblin,
It's pretty cool.
pretty cool, Ted.
Well, you know what? You know what I think.
Fantastic. I was blown. I'm
You liked
going
it
out.
that much?
I was blown away.
I have
by
most
the-
of Goblin's music, and I will say that at least for the movies,
Yeah.
usually the main theme is really
Vicky
kick-ass.
Alcorn, what is going on? Hello, Dino and Ted.
Usually the
Okay.
main theme, Suspiria, this film, Dawn of the Dead, the main theme is kick-ass.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the music's okay. But there
For this movie?
Oh, I would say this movie's got the best music
Oh yeah, yeah, and I think it was.
compared to the ones I just mentioned. Like Suspiria, I love the
I
Suspiria
think it was
theme.
Goblin's first. With dealing with the Giallo, the Italian
Yeah, they
horror
would do
genre.
at least 10 films together. If
Yeah.
not Goblin, then Claudio Simonetti, who's from Goblin.
Yeah, but this in this movie, every time like action started, there was just a style, a sound to what they were doing,
Get that bass going. Boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom, boom.
really fast,
Boom,
kind
boom,
of like
boom,
a
boom, boom, boom,
kind
boom.
of like a gritty '70s jive, kind
Yeah,
of.
well, it is a 70s.
You know, I mean, a U.S. kind of '70s, vibe to it.
Like sometimes I thought the music didn't quite match what was going on the screen,
it worked for me,
but I
man.
like it. You know, like when he's hanging on the side of the house, bashing
yeah.
in the wall. It's like, why is that all? Boom, boom, boom.
I thought-
but I loved it.
No, I loved it too.
Yeah.
The music, the score, when they popped it up a degree and just got into it really deep, unlike Suspiria was really moody and slower paced with the music. This was just, man. And then when it cut off, hey, everything's silent.
One of the
now,
best
but-
pieces of music on the Suspiria soundtrack's not even in
When?
the movie. It's called Black Forest.
Okay.
And I absolutely love that piece of music. It's just not in the movie.
Really. Let me say hi to everybody in the chat.
Yeah, who we got so
of,
far?
Of course, Dave Plouffe, Ed Stewart, Scott Rogers, Amy Callahan. Let's see, Vicky Alcorn, and JLR is Lynn. So thank you guys all for stopping by and hanging out. Monster Fan, hail all you dear wrenches. Hello, yeah. Hey, it's all the old time radio show, the new members that came aboard.
Right.
Appreciate it. But yeah, gushing over this movie. There's some interesting things that I found out about this movie. And then we'll get into kind of overall the movie, what it's about, and everything like that. But this was shot in 1975, and you know that all these movies influenced a lot of the U.S., like John Carpenter and all that, especially John Carpenter, I do think, because
You see where some of the people say that's like one of the first slashers. Nah, you got to go.
well, the musical theme, the very the most iconic horror song in
these
history,
guys saw these movies.
Halloween
Yeah.
theme. Put that Halloween theme next to the theme to Deep Red.
There's little bits of it there.
Oh, almost exact. I mean a little bit more synthy over here than, but almost exact. So John Carpenter took some,
Or you can see how it got in his head, and
yeah, and there's some,
I want to do something like that, but maybe a little bit more sparse.
yes, but the song, the theme. Definitely. There were shots in the movie that kind of reminded you of certain shooting styles.
That mechanical
that John
puppet thing sort of
Carpenter-
reminded me of the little puppet in Saw when he comes on the
Oh,
little
yeah,
tricycle.
yeah, it did.
That
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
reminded me of that, because I still don't know where the hell that came from.
You mean the...
Well,
yeah,
I know where it came from in the
Right,
movie,
right.
but then you
Right.
wonder, how does it make sense in terms of the movie after you see the whole thing?
Johnny Raven is in the chat. He says, "What up? Ted is back."
Back and I'm black and I'm back, y'all.
The knitting needles scene made me yell, "Halloween, Jamie Lee Curtis." Yeah. No, there were a lot of little things that I think John Carpenter plucked out of this movie in particular, and it's and even the dunk in Halloween 2 where Michael Myers puts the old head in the boiling water. But
yet the lady's hands don't get scalded.
You kind of get right. Yeah. But you kind of get a little bit of that in here with.
That's why Halloween 2 sucks, because Michael Myers' hands don't even get scalded. He's pushing her head in there. That movie stinks.
And there are going to be spoilers, so if you guys want to stop and go watch the movie or whatever, do whatever. But
we figure it's been around for 45 years. You ain't seen it now. It's your fault.
Yeah, we can do some spoilers.
But it's you can find it streaming lots of places. It's probably free to watch on YouTube, I would bet.
It is on YouTube free, yeah.
And it is? Okay,
it is up on YouTube.
If you have Amazon Prime and can stream it, there's a nice copy there. It's a really nice one. And
I also love the style that he uses for the killings in these movies.
He's got an eye for those.
Yeah, well, he always uses like kind of windows for the death scenes.
Yep, there's almost Suspiria. There's Bird with Crystal Plumage.
Yep.
And this one.
And kind of the simple.
I think in every movie.
I was going to say simple murders, but ways that the deaths happen. They really go all out. But
sometimes they are very creative.
Yeah, and some of the basic ways of even in Suspiria, when that what's her name falls into the barbed wire.
Yeah,
it's like stuff in real life.
Find me a movie where that happens.
You get cut, in real life on stuff like that. And it's just very, very interesting style to something that he's done back in the 70s, and just you see kind of all of the influences all over the place with this. But man, I just can't say enough about the style, even the actors, and he even uses certain sexual gender switching kind of things going on in his movies, and
that part is so weird because there's a part with one of the main character, a friend of the main character.
Well, mention the characters.
His name's Carlo.
Yeah, Carlo.
The main character's name is Marcus.
Yeah, he's a friend of Marcus.
They're both piano players working for a living in Italy.
Pianists.
And
Kimberly Ayers. What's going on, Kimberly?
When Marcus is looking for Carlo to talk about something, he's at a friend's house.
Right.
And this friend is I don't know if he's he's a transvestite. All right. But
it was unsure. You thought it was a man.
It is a man. In the movie, it's supposed to be a man dressed as a woman.
Right, but Dario Argento changes it.
Well, all we know is that in actuality, it's a woman.
It is a woman.
It is a woman
portraying a man.
Playing a man who's
portraying a woman.
Right. So
very interesting, but
it's very woke.
Very woke. Very woke. And
my head's spinning.
And I love how he gives. There's so many subtle differences in the movie, too, where he gives the woman in the movies, the protagonists, like in this instance, Gianna and Marcus.
Which is Daria Nicolodi. She was a co-writer of Suspiria. Yeah. And I'm only stopping you for a second because she just died. She just died back around Thanksgiving.
Rest in peace.
I think on Thanksgiving. On our Thanksgiving, I believe she did pass away.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she just died.
Yeah. No, sad stuff. But, kind of gives the woman, and this was back in the 70s, where the woman would be kind of the stronger protagonist rather than the man. Like, there's simple, subtle things in the movie, like where she's sitting straight up in the car, whereas Marcus falls down in his seat in the car, showing that she's hovering over him a little bit more. Power than he is. Even the arm wrestling scene where she takes him out. There's just a lot of instances where she shows a bit more flair than he does, even though Marcus, fantastic job in the film.
Yeah.
Just
I think it's funny how Hollywood in general
and
society maybe in general is finally catching up to the horror, fantasy, sci-fi genre. Because men can't be heroes anymore. It always has to be a woman. And as far as horror and science fiction, women have almost always been the heroes. We've had Princess Leia, we've had Ripley from the Alien movies.
Right.
Girl in this movie, we got Jamie Lee. Even
Tons
Adrian Barbeau in something like The Fog, or
No, it's been out there. It's been out there.
People want to talk about woke. Fuck, horror fans have been woke forever.
Lots of good Italian directors. Yes, says
yes,
Stewart. Fulci.
Lucio Fulci, Mario Bava.
Yeah, the top three.
That's like the triumvirate. You can try some of the.
Yeah.
But again, it's hit. I mean, they're definitely cheaper. A lot of, like, you take something like, Zombie.
Yeah.
All right?
Okay.
Which was marketed in Italy as Dawn of the Dead 2 or something like that.
Right.
Or no, Zombie 2, because Dawn of the Dead was called Zombie in Italy.
Hey, Nissa Luna. YouTube chat.
There's Spanish ones. There's, Bay of Blood, I think. That's Mario Bava. That's considered like the first slasher film.
Right.
And that's you can find that to watch. I mean, a lot of them are hit and miss. Some of them have interesting kills, but again, they're not American quality films.
Right.
But
American
sometimes they make
quality.
up for it in story, say like a Deep Red, just where it's a really kind of complex story.
Oh, very complex.
That doesn't all come together till the end.
Yeah, and he really does a great job with putting a twist on things and making you really think, and things not really appearing the way that it ends up being. If I said that right.
So should I kind of summarize what the film's about, just so they?
Yeah, if you want.
And then we can talk about details. All right. If you haven't seen it, let's say you haven't seen it, but you're interested and you want to know what it's about. All right.
Aloha, Dino and Ted. Aloha,
hey.
Nissa.
How are you?
Nissa, are you Nissa? I want to know. Please tell me in the chat. Anyways, and Dave Plouffe, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I have never recovered from watching The Night Porter. My one entry into Italian horror movies. Excellent. And then one last one, Amy Callahan. Was anyone else irritated at the stupidity of the lady in the cottage after the bus left and she found the hanging baby doll? Absolutely no self-preservation skills.
No,
Amy,
let's just hang out in the house.
Amy, and if you find out at the very end of the movie who the killer is, you look back at that particular scene at the cottage and I go, why didn't that woman fight? Why didn't she fight for her life? But she was very pathetic, very weak, and she was just a character thrown in there just to be killed.
Kinda. I mean, she really didn't serve any particularly.
She was terrible.
No, she served no purpose. That whole thing could have been cut out.
Yes, this is Nissa. Okay. Nissa from Paranormal Tonight, is that you? I just want to be sure it's the same person. But thank you. So go ahead.
All right.
Sum up the movie a bit.
To summarize what the film's about, it's about this English musician,
yes,
Marcus, living
jazz
abroad.
Pianist.
Living in Italy.
I like saying that, pianist.
He witnesses...
Don't ask me why.
And I guess it doesn't... The whole paranormals telepathy thing doesn't even really matter. The film...
I'm back! Oh, I'm sorry.
The film starts off at a paranormal telepathy kind of conference. It's not really that important, though.
Okay.
But what is important is that at that conference, she hones in on someone in the audience who she can just tell has done some horrible things.
Yeah.
And we see a lot of point of view of the killer, that person leaving.
Thanks,
so
Vanessa.
now that this paranormal, this psychic, feels that she could identify this person, this killer's got to eliminate her.
Yeah.
So Marcus is outside. He looks up at his apartment. There's, this lady lives there. He sees her being murdered in the window. He runs up to try to help.
Yeah.
Walking through the hallway. And unfortunately, now you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Once you've seen this movie, you're never going to not see it.
No, you're never not going to see what
the surprise is wasted.
in that
The
hallway.
surprise is gone.
Right.
I'm not going to spoil the surprise for you. But he finds her,
but
finds her dead.
I intentionally didn't go back to see, I'll just say who that was that we're talking about, because I didn't...
Well, they replay the scene later on in the film.
Well, yeah, later on. But I knew, you know what, that wasn't a painting because it kept, saying a painting.
Right.
And I know...
And I gotta say, those paintings were fantastic.
Oh my God.
Those would be perfect on the show. They're all like these horrible ghost-like figures.
Yeah.
But anyway, he finds her dead. The police come.
Right.
He's talking to the cops. He's, walking the hallway in this lady's apartment. and he just feels like there's something missing as he's walking down the hall. He's like, did you guys take a painting down? He's like, I feel like something's missing.
Yeah, head's
missing. Can't figure it out. And this is exactly
what?
like what happens in Bird with the Crystal Plumage when the guy witnesses the murder at the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
And in Suspiria when Susie Bannion arrives at the school and the girl comes running out and says something and she can't really remember what she said until the end of the film.
Blood thick as paint in that film.
Yeah, it looked like paint. Pretty much the rest of the film is him playing sort of like Jeffrey Beaumont in Blue Velvet, conducting a police investigation on his own, breaking and entering into Christ knows how many different places, completely interfering in a police investigation. Like, even to the point, like, the author of a book that he finds at her place, he doesn't even call the cops, he just leaves.
No,
and he talks to one of the psychic guys later, and he's like, did you call the police? He's like, do you think they found the body? He's like, they probably have by now. He didn't even call the cops.
Right. Well, you know what? I think that's what Dario Argento does. Is he excludes,
just in the middle of a mystery. That's why I mentioned Jeffrey Beaumont.
Yeah.
He's in the middle of a mystery, and he's just dying to solve it.
The exclusion of police officers in these Giallo movies, in particular, Dario Argento, is on purpose so that you get the protagonist, the male, the female, whoever, to solve the mystery. I mean, these are horror mysteries. This one kind of borders on that line of both, but
more of a mystery than a horror film. But it's definitely got some good twists and turns and scares and. Yeah. A lot of ins, a lot of outs.
A lot of ins, a lot of outs. But not as many as you think. But
one thing to also mention is when he arrives at the apartment and the lady's dead, he looks out the window and he sees someone in a brown raincoat running away, but he also sees Carlo standing on the street as well. Yeah. Carlo had been drunk before. They had spoken before.
Can I mention really quick that in that scene where they're out on the street, Marcus was trying to go over to the bar.
Yeah.
That bar...
No one's moving.
Can I just say how awesome that looked? It looks like that diner picture.
It's supposed to, yeah.
Like the old 50s diner where it's all glass.
No one inside is moving. Everybody's perfectly still.
Right. A man sitting like this, No, awesome scene, awesome imagery. And, sorry, let me get to a couple of these really quick. I love these stories. Thanks, guys. This is Gooey. I'm glad you like it. Appreciate it. Kelly Hans. Hi, I have been watching and listening to your radio horror shows, and it is finally something I can listen to. Well, thank you, Kelly. I'm glad you enjoy it. Hopefully you enjoy me and Ted and Kelsey talking about horror movies now and then. After the show tonight, we do got Beyond Midnight, so that'll be streaming overnight at 11 p.m. So there you go. And give me a good mystery, says Gooey. Yep. I think that's why many of us here, Kelly, yeah, definitely, Amy. Most of you guys are here from the old time radio shows, which is I'm so happy about. I'm glad the horror family, kind of the late horror show family, is growing a bit here, and you guys are all part of that. I appreciate that so much. There's a few who have stuck around from the horror movie reviews, but I do appreciate it. And Gooey, the Thunder game is tied up. See you soon. Okay, going off to his basketball. Celtic girl, she made it.
All right.
Nice that you came just in time.
Never lets us down.
We're talking about the movie. But yeah, I don't know what you were talking about, Carlo.
Yeah, I mean, he sees the. Well, he doesn't know if it's the killer, but he sees a person in a brown raincoat running this way. Right. He sees Carlo over here. Carlo was drunk. They were speaking before the murder. Yeah. Carlo was drunk. Drunk. Carlo doesn't really remember seeing anything. While he's there at the apartment, talking to the police and wondering what's missing, Gianna, a reporter, shows up, takes his picture, and kindly slathers it on the front page of the newspaper, saying, the witness to the crime.
Yeah, witness to the crime.
He even says that, thanks for letting the killer know who I am.
Yeah. So now the killer's after him all throughout the movie. Although, again, once the very end comes, I'm like going, that's the killer? But anyways, go ahead.
So how did the first clues start coming about? They're looking into, her being murdered. Yeah. But it doesn't seem like the police are doing much.
No. There's the music, which I don't think it's a clue,
Has the music played a part in it yet? The children's song?
I don't think so.
I'm trying to remember how the hell this movie goes.
But I do love that the killer has that kind of voice, just the same as Bird with the Crystal Plumage, kind of rough. You can't tell if it's
little
female,
little female,
what's going on. Yeah, mixing it up a little bit.
Well, they certainly start. They're poking their nose in. They're certainly talking to the psychics.
Did I miss them sleeping together, the reporter and the pianist?
Okay, well,
it was very quick.
You know what? There is a. It depends on which version you watch.
Yeah.
Now, the version that is on Amazon is what was called the export version. It was the United States version.
Yeah.
Dubbed into English. You're not really missing much in the way of story. There might be a couple of violent shots that are cut. A lot of humor that was put into the film, and the romantic angle between those two characters is completely gone.
Yeah, they kind of chopped that out. They
about 22 to 26 minutes cut out. Because the
should have told me.
The Italian version is. But you know what? The problem with the longer version, which is about 2 hours, is that the scenes that were cut out for America were never dubbed into English. So if you do watch it, it jumps from, and I've seen it, it jumps from being in English to being
Italian,
subtitled in Italian, and it's just a little jarring.
It
doesn't make for
I want to say the extras. Reviews from the Beyond. Thank you very much, my friend.
It just doesn't make for as nice of a viewing experience. And to be quite frank, if you're just interested in the story, what is going on, I think the version that we watched is much more crisp and brisk and to the point.
I'll take your word for it.
I think even that lady that got scalded, I even think that could have been taken out. So
really, that was kind of an important scene where he kind of found the clue with her hand pointing to the.
He didn't find it; the psychic found it, and all it said was "it was."
Oh, we totally even jumped over that.
Yeah.
But but she does make a good point to where they're like dressing at the house, and you're like, okay, did they just sleep together?
Right.
What's going on there?
But I mean, even that little scene that kind of implies what happened.
Yeah.
And you don't need to see it.
And she does also say we don't necessarily know that the police actually discovered these murders, right? No.
Well, they knew about the first one, but everything else after that,
it was kind of
they don't really know about, or they don't know about Mark's investigation into it.
Right.
So they start talking to the psychics, about this lady. Her name was Helga. And what we're finding out is that the killer is sort of in the shadows, watching him watching what he's doing.
Okay, so you're going to the very beginning again. That's
just to kind of say that he's being watched. Yeah. We got to say that he's being watched, and as his own personal investigation goes on, his life becomes endangered to the point he's at home, he's writing some music, and all of a sudden he does hear that children's music playing. Doesn't really quite know what to make of it, but he knows that the psychic said that one of the psychic guys said that, hey, this Helga lady, she heard children's music in this vision she had.
Right.
So that's where that all comes in.
So I wonder
and the killer does try to break into his house and kill him.
Yeah.
And, he is able to lock the door before the killer can get in, but you hear saying, I'll kill you sooner or later.
Yeah.
And
well, that was a very cool part of the movie, that scene where the killer was walking on the roof while he's composing a piano sequence, some music, and stuff falls on the piano even.
Doesn't
notice it, walks around the side, like you said, and gets in the the building there, and kind of he's holding a thing, Marcus. But getting back to the very beginning, because it's a big part of the movie too, because of Helga, who dies at the beginning of the movie does start right off with this clairvoyant in a theater. Where she starts to read. She's a clairvoyant. She's reading the minds of the people out in the audience, and I think she picks up on the killer.
Yeah.
And starts to kind of freak out a bit. And there were some really cool camera sequences too, where jumping on the table and the camera comes straight down over top of her.
Dario usually moves the camera.
Yes.
Rarely does he just keep it still. He's, even in Suspiria and the other film, always moving the camera.
And I like the guy, he goes, here, take a drink, and she puts water in it. It just dribbles out. And
just what I love to see.
She continues to keep talking. That's why, because you're like that's disgusting. That's sick.
I can't stand when stuff comes out of people's mouths.
It's just water. It's just water.
I know.
But yeah, I think that's where it all spurs from that. He knows that there's this connection between the clairvoyant now, and
right.
I'm going to go kill her. So.
Right, and that's why she's killed, because she can identify who the killer is. And even when Marcus is talking to, there were like 3 clairvoyants or whatever at the table.
Yeah.
The lady in the middle that was murdered was sort of like this really powerful one. He mentions to Marcus about a book he had read.
Yeah.
About folklore and stuff like that, and he remembered the name of the book. He told him where he could go find it at the library. He just couldn't remember who wrote it. And so Marcus is at the library. He's reading the book, and he finds a picture of a house. I don't know if it's sort of like a villa, I think. And in the story about the house, it mentions...
I'll get to the chat.
That people can hear a children's song playing from it.
Yeah.
Well, that piques his interest. He rips the page out of the book, and he plans to go talk to the author of the book. That's the lady that gets scalded in the bathtub.
Right.
So, obviously, he's being watched at the library.
Mm-hmm.
She knows... the killer knows where he's headed, gets there first, kills that lady. And like
Killer's
I said,
always on top of it.
Yeah. So, like I said, when he gets there, he sees that... And there is kind of a fun scene there where, as this author is dying, she writes, because the bath water, the steam, she writes something on the wall, which is like a mirror, and the... Marcus doesn't notice it, but the clairvoyant, the guy that kind of led him to this lady in the first place... once he finds out she's dead, he goes there. The housekeeper's cleaning up. The body's gone, but the outline is there. Like the tape outline.
Yeah.
And it looks like pointing towards that wall, and he's wondering what that's all about. So he turns the steam on, and all it ends up saying is, "It is." Right?
It is?
It was. It is, or it was.
It was.
I think it was. And that was it.
Yeah.
So that's why I say that whole part didn't even really need to be there. Because no clues are given. No information is given that you need to solve the crime.
Rather than to go back and kill that guy, too, or whatever. Right. But,
So,
who said Amy Callahan in the YouTube chat says Rosemary's Baby-ish? This movie?
I'm not exactly sure, I suppose there could be some similarities in camera angles or things like that, or style.
And mood. I guess I can see that a little bit.
I'd probably have to watch Rosemary's Baby again just to kind of glean what you're referring to.
Yeah.
But sometimes, sometimes a movie will just give you another vibe. Like, I got a total Blue Velvet vibe out of watching this, just because of the guy. Not because they're similar movies.
I can see that.
But because the main character in it is sort of similar, he could just go about his business and forget about it.
Character,
and so could Kyle MacLachlan's character in Blue. Just forget it and go about it. But no, they got to know what's happening. No, Marcus is a little bit more involved than Kyle MacLachlan's character.
And I think that's what is interesting about how Dario Argento wrote his stories and put them on the film. There's a certain style and a certain way he uses all his characters, and. Definitely very cool. Teresa Lee, hello. Nice to see you. Hey, guys, I'm late, but I'm here. Thank you very much for stopping by. And most of you guys are saying, I can't believe I haven't seen it. I got to watch it.
Shocking.
Amy's seen it, but I can't recommend this movie enough. This is like
I watched it on video cassette.
This very quickly became one of my favorite horror films of all time. So definitely go check this out. And if you want to be shocked with sound, music score, cinematography, the styling of an Italian director of the era, Dario Argento, it's just fantastic. And I'm blown away.
Giallo was a huge, popular type of film then. Giallo comes from the little pulp novels, the little mystery
little pulp novels.
That's where it actually comes from.
Because they were yellowish in color.
Yep.
And,
most people, when they think of the Giallo film, this is the film they think of. All right, this is sort of
favorite movie of all time.
Quintessential.
Rosemary's Baby. Yes.
Favorite movie of all time. Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah.
Such a positive movie.
Right?
Year 0.
Hey, I'm telling you.
So what happens next? So Marcus is going to go investigate this house.
Yeah. And this is
probably one of my favorite parts of the movie when he's
let's jump
investigating
really
the house.
quick. Pause there. At the very beginning of the movie, before the credits even go, there's a murder sequence that they show, like with the shadows on the wall in this room. Okay, so that's going to come into play with what.
Do we hear the children's music in this scene?
With where about?
I can't recall. Probably, but I can't
think
recall.
so because it was playing as that sequence happened, which we're getting to. Well, we will get to it real quick here. But go ahead, Ted. Sorry.
So
Ted owns a VHS collection. Confirmed.
No, I don't. I don't own it, but I've watched it on VHS.
I wanted to grow my VHS.
This is another one that I rented at Beware.
Yeah.
When the I always talk about them. I wish they were still around. The video store that Dino and I started going to a long time ago was in a kind of a trendy neighborhood, Lakewood. It's sort of the
Ben Grimm. Welcome.
It's sort of the hipster area now. And
hipster area,
sort of
a low-class hipster area.
But it was
I got you. I got
what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Everybody who lives there thinks they're so friggin' cool,
right? Nissa says I saw Rosemary's Baby a long time ago. My parents hated it. Pretty sure they saw it when they were teenagers. Oh my God! Dave Blueface says here is a link to the movie. It's thank you, Dave. There you go. He's got the link for you. Thank you very much, Dave.
Perfect. There you all go.
Amy Callan, the murderer, had the childlike quality that Frank Dodds did in Stephen King's book, The Dead Zone. Okay. Ben Grimm says the Hatchet Murders. Okay.
Yes, it was called the Hatchet Murders in the States. I don't think it was called Deep Red at all. Maybe it was. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But he's investigating the house.
Yes.
And kind of sees... It's cool.
Oh, he sees a red little hole
under the plaster.
Yeah,
and he takes some glass and he's shaving it all away, and then that cool deep red theme comes on, and it's one of my favorite parts of the movie. Just when he's, because I just think, what about being so sucked into a mystery, and how cool it would be to be that guy and like discover this,
pulls you
and
in,
you're like, I gotta know what's happening, and it's a picture. It looks like a child's picture on the wall of a child holding a bloody knife and someone being murdered.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a Christmas tree and shit.
And there's a little hole over on the other part that he didn't scrape off for some reason.
And it falls off, and then you see a third person there.
Yeah.
All right, a little, and
why he didn't do that?
I don't know. I would have kept going until I saw
was
the
a little
whole thing.
annoyed. Yeah.
But whatever.
I know it is. What it is.
So
I see.
Now later on,
yes,
he's gonna go back to that house.
Yes.
And the reason he's going to go back is because he's looking at the picture again, and even though it was the right house, obviously...
Oh, don't say that, Celtic girl. Go ahead.
He noticed that there was a window in the picture that's not on the house, like it was covered over.
Right.
And I love how he just goes up there in the middle of the night, is climbing up there with a hatchet and a flashlight, because he notices the fuck out of the wall.
He notices that there's not a window in the picture, and he says, that's what I
Why
saw.
did I notice it before?
And Celtic
Because
girl...
you're the Dario Argento movie.
And Celtic girl, you said a lot of people hate Rosemary's Baby. I don't know. It's on a lot of people's...
I would say...
lists. I don't know.
No. I would say
There's a lot
a
of people
certain generation probably would watch it and think, what's the big deal?
Okay.
Not really feeling the flow of the movie.
Nothing better than that Rosemary's Baby, man. The original.
Certainly, I mean, my kids watch movies, but a lot of kids their age and teenagers stuff don't even watch movies. They just watch YouTube all day. They just don't even watch movies. Like, they can't sit there for 2 hours and watch a movie. I get it.
But getting back to that house, he comes out there at night with a flashlight and pounds the hell out of the side of the house and finds out, there's something in there. There's a room in there.
He sees that there's a room, so he goes back in, and then he just beats the hell through the wall the other way. And this is my next favorite part of the movie, when he finally beats the wall down from inside.
Once
he determines that there is a room there, he goes inside and starts beating the wall.
Beats the hell out of it.
And just, it's so awesome. You guys have to see it.
Yes.
When he's taking the flashlight and moving it around in the room, and then all of a sudden, just right over a desiccated corpse. Right there.
Sitting on a chair, like a rocking chair. A little throwback, I think. It looked kind of, Black Christmas kind of vibe there. There was another one, the black eye in the closet, Billy.
Billy.
That's kind of a Black Christmas, kind of thing.
It's just
there.
it's just how it pans over.
But how they took so many things in other horror movies from this movie.
And again, how he doesn't tell the police about it. He doesn't do anything with this information.
But this room
it's just for
is going to become a big part of what this is all about.
Right.
So middle of the mystery.
This ends up
head towards the end.
Now I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
He's at the so from there he goes to the landlord's house because there's a landlord that's kind of showing this house. Sort of. I don't think he owns it. He's just in charge of if someone wants to rent it.
Yeah.
He's got this twisted little girl.
His daughter. Yeah.
It really makes no sense
like
in the movie.
8 or 9.
She likes to just like stick pins in lizards and stuff like that.
Just to throw you off, I think, Dario Argento, just to throw you off, make the little girl look like, she's got something to do with the storyline and stuff going on. But tormenting the lizards.
She's clearly disturbed.
And it was a pin like you would use
just so you know, there's no disclosure at the end of this movie that says no animals were harmed in the making of this movie. So I'm pretty sure they actually stuck a pin in a lizard. So it's not quite Cannibal Holocaust level of violence, but just in case that bothers you.
Right, yeah.
I certainly don't like to see anything suffer, and of course that's why I won't watch Cannibal Holocaust again, because I suffered enough. But while they're discussing, I don't know if he was going to call the police. I can't remember. I just watched a couple days ago. I can't recall. But he notices in the daughter's room.
He didn't call the police because there's always something else that spurs him on to the next.
I'm trying to remember why he went there, but it doesn't matter.
He saw the same picture of that she drew.
Yes, that's what I was just about to say. Read my mind.
Yeah.
From that mural on the wall, and he wants to know where did you get this?
Yes.
And she says, I drew it, and he's that's impossible. You couldn't have drawn this. This is exactly what was. And she mentions that at her school, her middle school, for a punishment, she was made to go to the archives and straighten up, and she found this picture and brought
Thanks
it
for
home.
That link, Amy. I do got to watch it. I don't think I've ever seen the Rosemary Baby's house on the thing. Nissa was asking for it. And it's pretty cool. So there you go. So Thank you guys for helping each other out in the chat because we're talking. So
that's where she got that picture.
Yeah.
So that leads him and Gianna to go to this school again, breaking and entering. They never wait till actual business hours and ask if they can go in. They bust the windows and go in.
And at this part of the movie, I was starting to get a vibe of, okay, are they trying to point towards Gianna being having something to do with being the killer? Maybe.
Again, you really have no idea.
You can think of that at that point in the movie.
Could be anybody at this point.
Yeah. But she was giving off that kind of vibe during this whole, I'll go with you to the school.
Yeah, they go to the school. Maybe she just feels guilty about getting his face in the paper. Yeah. And they're going through the drawings, all these huge folders.
The drawings.
And they do find the drawings. Yeah. Now, Gianna goes off to call the police.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, she heard something first.
Right, they heard something.
And I don't know why. That's what got me thinking.
And then they split up. Why are you splitting up?
Yeah. It's like,
whatever. Come on. And Marcus is going to look for Gianna. We find that she's been stabbed. Not dead, but stabbed. So, okay, she's not the killer.
Marcus Aurelius?
Yeah, Marcus
Aurelius. He
played
in Gladiator.
So now I'm about to give away who the killer is.
Okay.
If you don't want to know, now's the time to just stop, drop out. Okay. And don't listen.
You're going to jump to the killer now? Okay, yeah.
Because it's basically there. Because
why not?
Who is there at the school that kind of catches Marcus off guard is Carlo.
Yeah.
His drunk friend that was playing the piano and was there.
Right.
And we find out that it was Carlo who drew those pictures as a child.
Right.
And
so they think Carlos is the murderer.
Right, and that's sort of where they throw us at first, but again, you got to remember, the police show up, shootout sort of ensues, and one of the best parts of the movie happens as Carlo escapes. I've never seen anybody get killed like this in a movie. And you'll read about it on Wikipedia or something, it just says, he's hit by a car and dies. Oh, it's so much more than that.
Yeah, no.
Take it away.
No, Carlos, he flies out They're shooting him. They're missing him. The cops.
Oh God, yes.
They're bad shots. That's for sure.
They're like stormtrooper bad.
But he climbs over the fence, heads towards the street, and what ends up happening is he's running backwards and runs into a
garbage truck or something.
It's not a garbage truck. It's a big truck that's got like these pipes. Wired pipes for maybe you put in cement on freeway, whatever.
That's probably right.
Yeah, and because there's one that catches him that's curving on, but hits him, and he's boom, 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 boom,
bouncing off the truck.
And as he gets to the end of the truck, there's this big pipe that like turns around, and he gets stuck into that.
It grabs him by the leg.
Yeah, and he falls down into the ground, and this truck is dragging him through the streets of Italy. Okay,
streets of
burning everything off of his head.
And the funny thing is I'm watching, I'm just sitting there making funny voices, going, "Oh my ass, my ass,
oh
my ass!"
Yeah, just tearing it up, man.
It's tearing his ass.
And I'm going, well, okay, how's he going to die? This is just going to slowly bleed him down. And as the truck starts to go and turn, his body whips right into the curb, and it's boom. And you're like, oh,
and you think
shit.
That's it?
You think that's how he died?
No.
The truck pulls over, I guess notices that, oh my God, I think something's back there. Stops, and the body's like this, and you see Carlos's head
He's
there
still
bleeding.
alive.
Still alive. And a car just comes, squashes and rides right over his head. And that was the death of Carlos.
To add insult to injury.
Yeah, it was very, very.
Like you're watching, you're going, damn,
unique.
damn,
Yeah.
damn, and then the car, comes, damn.
It was very, very unique, and I'm just like going, wow. That, one of the scenes to remember for
Dario did not like Carlo
for a death scene was unbelievable. And there you think, oh my God, the killer's dead.
Right.
So then...
And there's, a little discussion with the police and stuff. But then Marcus remembers, but wait, I looked out the window and...
Same here, Vicky.
The killer was, who he because, the killer was in that, brown raincoat. And Carlo was there on the street. And he's like, I was talking to him on the street when I saw the murder going on up there. So it couldn't have been Carlo.
Nathaniel in the YouTube chat. How you doing?
So we know it wasn't Carlo.
Okay, and let's stop
obviously.
there. Let's stop there and let me catch up to the YouTube
then we'll
chat.
Get to the ending.
And then we'll get to the ending. It's not Carlos, it's somebody else.
Obviously not.
I can't keep up with everything, but Nathaniel, you started showing up in the YouTube chat a night or two ago, but thanks for stopping by. I agree, can hardly take animals displaying signs of sadness, and let alone...
We don't care about people getting mutilated. We don't care about Carlo.
right. But the
Cannibal Holocaust was real. So that's
but
different.
I'm with you. We both are. Kids, animals, it's a whole thing. I get it. Also, everyone, second night here. Glad I found you all. Thank you, Nathaniel, for being part, man. Really appreciate it. Totally agree on the animals. Celtic Girl, awesome Amy. Hi, Nathaniel. Everybody's saying hi. Can't handle. Yep, got it. Amy says Netflix has a terrible... Oh, let me see. You guys really typing. I love this. You guys are really participating. I'm trying to interact with you guys here without my glasses looking at the screen.
They're right here. You could put them on.
Yeah,
you want gold?
Netflix has a terrible, wonderful movie about hurting a killer of cats using social media. Oh my god!
Oh, this is Don't F with Cats.
Okay, so Ted knows it.
I've seen that.
Don't F with Cats. Okay. Celtic Girl, yes, Monster fan, fully agreed. There is a bit at the end of Apocalypse Now too. Yeah, so agreeing. Welcome back. Dave Clefay says only Ted could laugh like that when someone dies like this.
Dude, you gotta see it. You'll laugh too.
Dave,
I dare you not to.
If you've seen it, Dave, you know what I'm talking about. I'm laughing because Ted spurred me on. But it is up there as a death scene. I mean, Dario knows how to do it, man.
His ass gets torn to shreds, dashes his head apart on the curb, and then gets his head squashed like a melon by a car.
And Ted's feeling hysterical.
It never happens.
The drag scene was ridiculous. Like, wouldn't you have tried to pull yourself up?
I could have watched that for 20 minutes.
Amy thinks he should have pulled himself up somehow and got off of it.
I don't know. What would you do in a situation like that? I mean,
I would have fought like hell to get the hell off of that wired.
I mean, you can't reach it. You know, you're sitting up, your ass is getting chewed apart.
It's hell. It's hell. It's hell.
Indiana Jones would have done it. He slid on his cocks in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Nathaniel says, "I got enough gore in the core. Can't handle the fake stuff, let alone the real. I get you. Not even a fake one," says Celtic Girl.
And see, he was skinny, so his ass probably didn't last long. I'd last a little longer.
Lynn says, "Night of the Wild, The Day of Animals will not watch." Okay. Yeah. Can't watch those super torture films. Hey, I'm not much on like the Saw movies and stuff like that. Forget about it.
First one's actually very
it.
tame if you go back and watch it. It's
Kimberly loves how Ted laughs. So there you go. Yeah, Ted's tripping me out there, Kimberly. Okay, let's get.
Can we watch that? Can we just put it up there and we just watch it?
Replay that scene over and over. Maybe I can do a 1 hour loop of that scene.
Yes, just.
I may do that for the channel. I'll just put a loop for a whole hour.
Just leave it up there. It's a video.
Yeah. Anyway, so get to the ending here, because the killer is not Carlos.
Obviously, it's not Carlo.
And
and
Carlo.
This is just
I keep saying Carlos.
Carlo. And this is all bringing him back to the apartment where he was at the beginning when he witnessed the murder.
Isn't his first name Monty?
Monty, I don't know.
Monte Carlo.
Maybe. And
dumb joke. I'm used to. Yeah.
So he again violating police orders. Forget that police, caution tape. Rips it all off the apartment where the lady was murdered in the beginning of the film.
Right.
He's going in there. He knows it's not Carlo. He's in there. He's just walking that hallway again, trying to put it all together. And when he walks by where he thought the painting was missing, then he has this epiphany where he realizes it wasn't a painting that's missing, it's a reflection that was missing.
Yes.
It wasn't a painting on the wall, it was
a
mirror.
mirror on the wall.
And that's the bad thing about this movie, because once you watch the movie, if you go to watch it again, you're always going to see the person in the mirror now.
Well, you know what? When you watch a movie, in defense, when you watch a movie, you find out who the killer is. So no matter what, when you go back and watch a movie, you're going to know who the killer is.
But they give it away. They give it away at the beginning, and they trust that you're not going to notice it. First time I watched it, I never noticed it.
Well, first time watch, and you're not on a VCR or DVD,
right. But I mean,
you can go back and
I didn't notice that it was a person's face there.
I knew it was a person's face immediately.
You did not. You didn't.
No, Ted.
You didn't.
Wait a second.
Today, or whatever, you watch it and you saw that lady in the mirror.
When I watched it the very first time, I knew that was a woman's face in the mirror. I caught it. How is that so hard to believe? I wouldn't lie about it.
He notices every little detail. You weren't supposed to notice it. You weren't supposed to notice it.
It stands out. You can tell it's a person's face.
I was watching his point of view down the hallway. So anyway.
Okay.
What it turns out is he remembers who this is. It's Carlo's mother,
yeah,
who he met previously in the film while looking for Carlo. Lady seemed like a bit of a Looney Tune when he met her at that point. And bada bing, she happens to be there. And this cool little hammer. And she's got a meat cleaver in her hands.
This is a dandy, if you guys can see this. It's on my set. It's sitting right here. It's a sledgehammer. And it says, it's a sledgehammer. It's a sledgehammer, and it's real. I think cast aluminum, but it's from the 50s, and it was used. It's called Dandy. It's right on the side, and it was used to break up hard candy back in the 50s. That's what this was used for.
You know what's kind of interesting?
The candy store would give these away with the hard candy, and you could break it up, like the Jawbreakers and stuff like that. That's exactly what that was.
Kind of interesting is...
And you can murder someone with that.
If, well, maybe if Time Lord pops in the chat, you would know. But my mom loves British stuff. Okay. She would like to be British. And
I'm kind of right there with her. But
at Christmas we use the crackers that you pull apart and wear the little crowns. And she also buys a peppermint pig, which I believe is a tradition out there.
Yeah.
It's a big piece of peppermint candy in the shape of a pig.
Yeah.
You put it in a sack, and it comes with a little hammer.
Yeah.
Just like this.
Right.
And everybody takes a turn whacking
Yeah.
the pig, breaks it up, make a little wish, whatever, break it up, and then everybody takes a little piece of the candy. So that's just what this kind of reminded me of when I saw it.
And that's exactly what it is.
It's just one of our little, which we didn't get to do this year because
I got that.
We didn't get together. Did this come with it as well? This little dog?
I found. You know me back in the day. This is why I've got so many things. I used to thrift hunt and go to every little thrift shop there was, and I would pick up things for like 50 cents, 25 cents. And those were a couple things. Ted's holding like a little Chihuahua dog. But
he actually has a Chihuahua, and the thing hates my guts. It hates me.
Let's get to the ending then.
Right.
So Carlos's mom pops up in this in what Giallo is known for, and Dario Argento is the black gloves, which has a little zip up, which is cool.
This is her eye right here behind me.
Her hat, her brown leather jacket. And, she comes up behind him.
Does some little explanation. And then we get a little flashback scene. Obviously, this lady was crazy, and her husband wanted to take her back to the mental hospital. We see a flashback of Carlo as a child. It's Christmas. He's wearing his little teddy boy outfit. And he's putting a record on, and it's that children's song.
It's the throwback to the scene at the very beginning of the movie.
And whereas...
And the room that he opened up
in the beginning...
and broke in through.
And... according to the pictures, obviously Carlo almost in his mind associates that he killed his father. But actually it was the mother that killed the father right in front of him.
Yeah.
And the father pulls out the bloody knife and it falls at the child's feet. And that's what we see at the beginning of the film. And then he picks it up and he's holding
Thus
the bloody knife.
Carlos being affected a little bit.
Touched.
But they show that whole
in the head.
Kill scene at the end.
Yeah.
In a roundabout
Why do you turn your
fashion.
back on a crazy psycho lady? The husband walks out of the room, and then she just goes and pulls this big-ass knife out of the drawer. And I'd be hiding the knives.
Right. And one of the coolest ways...
Nobody got any fucking brains.
One of the coolest ways for the protagonist to end up killing the killer in this movie was fantastic.
It's something I've never seen before. She's coming at him. She
does
get a little chop in the shoulder.
Shoulder.
She's wearing this big-ass necklace, and it gets caught in the grating. It's like one of those... elevators where you got to pull the gate closed, and she gets caught in it. She can't get out.
Real quick, pause.
Yeah.
Marcus is running away from her because this woman with just this knife, is much stronger than Marcus and can kill him. I'm not saying the woman wasn't strong. You can have a strong elderly woman.
But that meat cleaver was pretty big.
Yeah. So, anyways, he fell on the ground.
You think he could have outrun her?
That little necklace thing got caught in that grate of the elevator.
He hits that button for the elevator.
He hits it to go down.
The elevator's going down, and you just see it start to.
She turns
cut
around
into her throat, and then some nasty white shit comes out of her mouth, and you never get to
mucus.
See. Yeah, you never get to see the head. You just see it cut into the neck a little bit. She's. Pez dispenser.
Decapitated. Pez dispenser.
He Nicole Brown Simpsoned her.
Yeah.
And I think it's been long enough I could do that.
Okay. Oh, my God. Okay, yes, but very...
And it ends with him looking in the pool of deep red blood. And I love how Dario's... You have been watching.
Right.
Same thing with Suspiria at the end.
It's very unique ending to the killer and how the killer was killed.
And it's all nihilistic. Like, there's no denouement, really, where it's, you get a little ending or anything. No, it's just... It reminds me of some of those old classic horror movies, like, the Hammer ones, where it just ends.
Right.
And, like, you feel like, in a movie today, there'd be like 5 more minutes to show the characters recovering a little bit.
Well, we did get a little ending because Gianna got stabbed in the school.
Well, that was before he went to the apartment.
Right. But at the very ending, he finds out because he goes to.
She'll be okay.
She'll be okay. So
then, as he's walking back home, then he realizes Carlo wasn't. He was with me when I saw the murder. And that's when he goes back up.
So there you go. That's the movie.
I totally forget about Gianna anyway. What the fuck?
Yeah. No. Yeah. She was a looker though. She was cute.
If you think so.
But I say that all the time, and Ted goes, "Yeah, whatever."
Well, I figured you would have much preferred the killer.
Whatever, the old one. Okay, so let's see. Let me get to the chat real quick.
He's got his stack of pictures of Betty White over here.
Yeah, she was a looker when she was young.
You just said she still is.
Yeah, in her 80s.
There ain't a picture in that pile where she's younger than 65.
Betty White when she was 80. Oh, top of her game, man. Mm-hmm. Top of her game.
When she was 80?
Anyways, let me try to read some of this chat here. See if I missed anything. Guys, please do a part 2 review of Burnt Offerings, says Celtic Girl. That may be the most spooky movie of all time. I really couldn't sleep for ages.
Burnt Offerings, Oliver Reed.
Deserves a part 2 review. Okay, well, it's in the hat, in the hopper.
We have a hopper?
I guess we got a hopper. Someone said something about a giant tadpole, and it reminded me of one part where giant sperm attacks a whole city. I'd like to know what that movie is. That sounds good. That's not Chud, but Chillerama. Yeah, good one. I will check it out. I'm making a list of movies now, says Kimberly Ayers. Yeah, Kimberly, those Saw movies and Hostel movies, a little too much. Ed, I agree with you. Those are too much for me. I call those torture porn videos, and
the first one's pretty tame. First Saw.
Well,
first Saw's actually a pretty good movie.
First Saw, yeah.
I like the first one.
Then it gets into just,
well, you figure this guy's got cancer. He's got all these acolytes. He's whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not really my kind of thing anyway.
Nissa Luna says I'll check it out. I won't sit through those. Horrible. Oh my gosh, Kimberly, do not watch Alone like I did. Not joking. Nathaniel, there's a brief part with my gay werebears. It's a goofy spin on old B horror drive-through movies, and it's several short comedies in one. Thank you, Kimberly. That was Nathaniel. Nissa Luna, the Saw hostile flicks, I mean icky. Yep, agree with you. I'm trying to keep up here, you guys. Celtic Girl, does Ted and Dino have a bigger crush on Ingrid Pitt? Whew!
I would start a war.
Ted's got the bigger crush.
Circa Vampire Lovers. Or,
yeah, I mean, I do too. In Vampire, I like the other girl.
Trojan War style warfare.
I thought the other girl was cuter in that movie.
Oh, no way. Madeline Smith? No.
Than Ingrid Pitt. But anyways.
Especially if you know anything about her in real life, man. She was practically raised in a nunnery.
Ed Stewart says Hatchet has a good storyline, but brutal. Vicky Elkhorn. The Manitou scared the heck out of me. Me Too. Got a story. We can take this to 10:30. The overnight stream will start at 11. So we got a little bit more time here to talk real quick. The Manitou, I went to see at a movie theater. I had an uncle who passed out there, and they had to give him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation in the middle of the Manitou as I was a child. So nonetheless, I was scarred from the Manitou, seeing it at the theater. This also happened for The Exorcist at a drive-in theater. My uncle did the same thing. 2 movies, very scary. But
maybe he shouldn't go to horror movies.
Manitou was a very freaky sci-fi horror flick that with some Indian lore and stuff messed in there. And if you like that, it might be a movie you might want to check out. I don't know. Nissa Luna says there was a movie with a little girl and a crow from the late 70s, I think. The crow protects the little girl and takes out people who try to do her harm.
Are you thinking The Visitor?
The Visitor? Maybe
Which is
The Visitor.
Sort of it's got Lance Henriksen in it. She does have a bird.
Says crow. Yeah.
Or it's a what are those called? A falcon? Is it a falcon where they put the
yeah falcon.
It's a falcon that she has.
Huh.
And if that's the one you're thinking of, I actually watched it again not too long ago. It's a very weird flick.
Very weird movie.
Huh. Well, it's sort of a oh, dude, I can't even explain it, man. It's like an outer space Jesus, devil, Satan movie. It's
okay.
It's really
I've never seen it. I don't know what you're talking about, but definitely sounds very interesting.
It's cool to watch once. It's bizarre. That's the only movie I can think of where there's a girl being protected sort of by a bird. So I wonder if that's
Jeremy Bear, YouTube chat. Hey guys, your all night stream has stopped. I'll be streaming that at 11. I don't know. Was there another stream that was going on? Maybe. I'll just delete that one afterwards. I don't know what was going on there. I think it interfered with this stream. So after this, I'll start up the stream for Beyond Midnight tonight at 11.
We're going to do a funny little bit at the beginning.
Yeah, there was a little bit I tried doing, but oh well.
We found this YouTube clip of 2 guys yelling at each other in Italian. That's what we were going to do. Like, we
well,
didn't know if anybody would get it. Like how Deep Red's an Italian movie, and I thought it was hilarious.
We like to do goofy stuff sometimes, but there you go. Indian lore was also in Prophecy. Yes, Amy. Vampire Lovers, my favorite's a Celtic Girl. Mm-hmm. Dave Plouffe.
What time for me to watch it again?
Was that the same uncle from the gnome story? Says Dave Plouffe. No, that was an older uncle, Dave. Listen to Dave.
Now you got me sending him pictures of gnomes.
Yeah, Ted sent me a picture the other day.
It's a little picture of a gnome hiding. And when I just said, I see you.
I'll never forget it. Teresa Lee. Amy says again, Lance was in Aliens and Aliens 3. Oh, he was in Near Dark.
Yep. But he's in this
one
movie
of my
that I
favorite
was
vampire movies
called The Visitor.
Yeah.
It's an early film of his, obviously.
Right.
So if that's the one that they were thinking of, because he's like the one actor you could probably remember from it.
Oh yeah, Amy, check out Vampire Lovers. If you like Hammer horror, that's a fantastic one to do. Let's see, Nissa Luna. I can't remember. I only watched it once, but I remember it being a black bird. Okay, well maybe that's it.
Might have been. It's on Tubi. So if you want to just pop over there and look up The Visitor and see if that's the movie
it's on
you remember.
Tubi. Yeah. Kimberly Ayers, awesome. Vicky Alcorn went to the movie to see The Exorcist. It was horrible. I was 13 and had nightmares forever. Yeah, showing age, but for me, I would say, how old was I? A little bit younger, but I remember it very vividly.
I didn't get to see it in a theater, that's for sure.
Very vividly at the drive-in, Memphis Drive-In Theater.
I miss the Memphis. We still have a drive-in theater. Actually, I liked it. It's still open now. Like, even in the wintertime, they're still showing movies.
Really?
They're open now, yeah.
Okay, well, cool.
Yeah, there's usually like a throwback and then something new. Like, they had like Goonies and that new Wonder Woman movie or something like that.
Let's see, real quick. Nathaniel says, when I was in the Philippines, I watched The Exorcist with 2 girls I was friends with down there, and they freaked. They are highly Catholic in the Philippines, and they take that stuff seriously. Oh, yeah, no.
Yes, they are.
Philippines.
Very Catholic. I know a lot of Filipinos.
Yep, very Catholic, very religious. So I am going to, wrap this up. I do, one last time, want to thank these people, Patreons. All the links below in the description for the show to join the Patreon, to join the channel, to buy me a cup of coffee is in the link, the description below. All helps out the channel and the support. I appreciate that, and I'll tell you guys, I have something in store. Let's see, I will check it out. The Visitor, thank you guys.
Okay.
No problem, Nissa. Nissa, I'm going to message you in a little bit.
Get back next week and let me know if that's the flick you were thinking about. That's weird.
Yeah, very curious. But I do have. There's a promo that's going to be going up in a little while, next few days here, of something very exciting. If you like creature features and stuff like that, stay tuned for that. Things are set in motion, and then I think I brought it up before, but Dr. Bubonic is going to be doing a Plague Playhouse.
Plague Playhouse, I like that.
Creature feature, kind of with
Welcome to the Plague
It
House.
will be coming, and the first movie will be Night of the Living Dead. Of course, the public domain movie of the long,
it's public domain. It's good to go.
So stay tuned for that. Look forward to that. The Death Twitch. What is going on? You came in at the end.
Hey!
Hopefully you were watching for a little bit. Welcome, the Death Twitch. Always welcome. Great show, guys. A great time. Thank you guys for stopping by. Sunshine, cool water. What happened to the old time radio stream? I don't know. There was a goof with it streaming. It's going to start at 11 p.m. Okay, 11 p.m. So it'll be there. It's starting. I'm going to go over and erase that video and start it up at 11 and 30 minutes. Okay, so with that, I'm going to say much love to all of you guys as people are streaming in now.
All right.
Hopefully you guys weren't over there waiting for the Old Time Radio show to start.
Tuesdays we got to go a little.
Every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, me and Ted talk horror movies.
That's because I work and I don't get home till a little bit later.
So I got I think we're going to do an 80s cheesy movie, which we haven't done forever next week, I think. We'll let you know, but some good stuff coming up here. I'll see a lot of you guys at 11 in the chat. And it is 10:30. Much love. Peace. Thanks for all the support. And thanks for all you guys for being here and being part of the show. So I will see